My name is Kui. And before like 2 months ago, I actually had no experience with maps. And I kind of have this crazy goal to try to make 100 maps in a year and kind of document the learning process. And I've loved using Felt. And today, I want to tell you a story. I also shared the link to the map in the chat about a conversation I had with a friend, which completely transformed how I think about maps. And this map is a translated map of evacuation orders in Santa Barbara. And oh wait, did I share my screen? Yes, right. Oh no, okay.
No, no, not yet.
All right, how about now?
Yeah, yeah, we see it.
Yeah. And to pretty much give you some context, a few weeks ago there was a massive storm in California, and there were floods that were kind of occurring all over Santa Barbara. And during this period, I texted my friend and I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And quickly, this kind of led into another conversation where he was telling me that different public agencies were releasing like different maps. So imagine you have one agency releasing a map with all the roads that are closed, another agency with a map where you should, like, if you're in this area, you should evacuate. And there was no map where all the shelter locations existed. And so Felt was kind of the perfect tool in this situation to kind of join different data sources and kind of put everything on a single map. And as a map maker, I was really excited because could kind of like show off to my friend, like, hey, look at this like really cool map. I spun it really quickly. And so after I made the map in like 10, 15 minutes, I sent it to him, pretty proud. And then he texted me back, cool map, but by the way, my friends and family, they only speak Spanish. And I was like, "Oh, man, that was very humbling to me personally because I was, like, really excited to this map, but I didn't realize I had a blind spot where, I didn't really consider the language of the audience of the map." And with the rise of, like, ChatGPT, I had it open in a tab and I was like, "Oh, what if you could kinda translate this map using AI as a tool?" And it was, like, my first real exposure to ChatGPT, but I was amazed that rather than using Google to, like, how would I go about do this? I asked ChatGPT, and it was able to recommend me different libraries to use, real code samples that worked that I could integrate into my workflow. And within 10 minutes, I was able to quickly translate the map that I had in English into Spanish. And one cool thing I do want to point out in this map, which is a really cool feature in Felt, which you might not know about, is if you hold the shift button on your keyboard, you're actually able to select different markers you put on the map, and you're able to actually export it as a GeoJSON file. And so this was like huge when I had all these markers of like shelter locations in English, and I wanted to kind of export that file and translate it to the Spanish versions. And what really excited me about this whole process is the idea that when you kind of combine ChatGPT and Felt together, you can kind of create this like idealistic world where everybody has equal access to safety information. And that's like a world I want to live in. And that's a world that also excites me about like the future, because people who have to like plan for like disasters and also like respond to disasters, having these kind of tools and things in your workflow, I think it can really like save lives in the future. And thank you for letting me share.